Want to watch Naruto Lemon Uncensored but don't know where? Then you can go to my Boosty where you will see the whole world of Naruto Lemon Uncensored with a 70% discount. Link in the description. Enjoy watching. Description: after the epic battle with the Kyuubi, Kushina survived. But these events broke her, plus the villagers' attitude toward her, to put it mildly, was not very welcoming. Not at all. The bloody habanero is no more. She doesn't even care about her little son. And in a moment of clarity, Kushina performs a ritual. Chapter 7. Naruto, wake up, we have to go. What? Are we leaving already? Yes, the escape is starting, I whisper to him mysteriously. The little one just smiles in response. He is having fun. After all, he is playing a new game with his mom. Ah, childhood, childhood. Time for adventure. Get dressed. What can I say? Naruto now looked like a real ninja, adjusted for his age, of course. Black pants, a black turtleneck. An indeterminate color sweatshirt with a hood that hid his blonde hair. I was dressed in black breeches, a t-shirt and a sleeveless jacket. Out of old habit, I wrapped my legs up to the knees with bandages. I was wearing fingerless gloves. I tied a dark bandana around my head. I fastened my hip bag. So, are you ready? Yes. Do you want to eat? No, let's go already, Mom. Okay. Now let's make a deal, Naruto. While we are hiding, there will be very dangerous people around. They can kill or maim, or they can simply take you away from me. Therefore, you do not run anywhere and do not leave my side. While moving or in an ambush, you are silent. Any sound can give us away. You must be very careful, son. All this can cost us our lives. Yes, I understand. I promise. Naruto hugged me and, raising his head to look into my face, whispered, I will protect you, Mom. Ah, little one, my hero. Crouching down, I also hugged the little one. What awaits us ahead? Pulling myself together, I continued, Okay, enough chewing snot, let's continue this conversation. You must obey me unquestioningly. If I say run, you run. If I say lie down, you lie down. Okay? Yes. Okay. Time to go. We put on our shoes, put on our backpacks, jumped up and down to see if anything was jingling, and headed out the door. I created 2 clones, infusing them with chakra as much as possible. One immediately transformed into Naruto. They waved and closed the door. That's it. It's time. Picking up my son, I shadow slunk to the gate. Running across the roof, even at night, attracts a lot of attention. Remembering Kushina's teachers with gratitude, I made my way through the village like a seasoned saboteur. Sometimes I held Naruto in my arms. Sometimes he ran next to me. More often, I placed him on my backpack, and he held on by himself. We approached the meeting place. Now let's assess the situation. I peered around the corner. The square in front of the gate was empty. Only the guards, a couple of Chunin and a Jonin, sat at their desk in the light of a lamp. Kakashi wasn't here yet. So we wait. The trio played cards, quietly chatting. Occasionally, bursts of laughter rang out. What an easy job these people have. Naruto and I were sitting in the shadow of a large wooden building in some nook, so only those with super eyes could find us. There were no Uchiha or Hyuga at the gate. I didn't know all the Uchiha, but those show-offs always wore the clan symbol on their clothes. And only an idiot wouldn't be able to spot a Hyuga by their glassy eyes. It was getting on for 2 when Guy jumped out of the darkness right in front of the security desk. Oh, little green men! From Mars. How creepy. The guy in the tights immediately assumed some kind of impossible pose, which he apparently considered very masculine. So, after that, he grinned broadly and yelled in a bad voice. The power of youth is with us! And before he could say anything else, Kakashi landed on top of him, pinning the green one to the ground. I told you this time I'll win! The blonde hissed at Guy. However, he twisted away and attacked Kakashi. I think I realized what kind of crazy idea he had then. Yeah. They won't remember us after this for sure. After Guy, There's no brain left, nothing to remember. And the fight was going to be quite a big one. The guard's desk was already broken, and the guards themselves whistled off into the distance to avoid getting caught in the crossfire. And I understand them perfectly. I would have run away myself, but I went the other way. Guy is probably using some kind of powerful genjutsu, beyond the power of science. Because it always gives me a headache. Kakashi, my eternal rival. Today will be my victory. Kill me, any more and I'll go crazy. The only one who was amused by everything that was happening was Naruto. The little one watched this action with curiosity, periodically covering his mouth with his hands to keep from laughing. Conclusion: this genjutsu doesn't work on children. The fight moved smoothly past us, leaving the gate open and unguarded. Was it time? No, the dog hadn't given us the signal yet. Something tugged at my pant leg. A sad, tired pug sat next to me. Apparently, Signal was Pakin's new nickname. The dog sighed and silently walked toward the gate. And we followed. It was surprisingly quiet all around. We walked out the gate so calmly that. No. That just couldn't happen. My suspicions grew. I carefully scanned the surroundings, squeezing Naruto's hand in my own. The nearest trees were 100 meters away, no more. From there, we could climb to the upper tier of branches and pick up some decent speed. But we still had to get to the trees. Especially since we weren't alone anymore. 2 A and BU men landed in front of us. One in a cat mask, and the other in a mask of a mouse? Tom and Jerry. I confess I laughed like a horse. This was something. Simply spectacular sadism. Did I mention Guy's genjutsu? Oh no, here it is, my nightmare come true. The mouse and the cat exchanged surprised glances. Apparently, they didn't understand why their victim was laughing at them. Even the pug was surprised. Oh, right. Ha ha. Wait a second. Hee. I'm almost in control of myself. I could barely catch my breath. No, I suspected that we were being watched and that they wouldn't let us go so easily. I was even prepared for trouble, but these. In short, they simply killed my brain, already undermined by Guy's antics. Ugh. I think that's all. Sorry for the inconsistency. Nerves, critical days, fatigue. You understand, while she was talking, she managed to activate the seals on her hands, and her familiar kunai fit comfortably in her palms. There. Now it's not scary. Naruto, you have to run to the trees, okay? Yes, Mom. And he galloped off. That's a good boy, he didn't ask why, where, or why. They told him to run. The Jinchuriki won't hide from us anyway. He won't leave the village. Sparing your lives is out of the question. And I'm not counting on your favor. I threw off my backpack and froze, grabbing the kunai with a reverse grip and sending water chakra through them. Let's see what they teach you in ANBU. Shall we dance? Mouse rushed into battle. Shadow clones, dodging a direct blow, jumping. Substitution technique. Mouse pierces the clone with a katana. Now Cat had slightly overtaken Mouse and, having spotted me, rushed towards me first. Kunai aren't much against a katana, but here's a surprise. Mine are unusual. The man handles weapons almost incomparably. Almost. Blocking Cat's blow, I ducked under his arm. Weakling. He doesn't know any close-range fighting techniques at all. And the taijutsu wasn't so great. Kicks to the knee, to the groin, to the face. Finish him off, so he doesn't suffer. Substitution technique. As soon as Mouse realized his partner was dead, he went nuts. He started running after my clones, screaming. Was he trying to catch me? Apparently, Cat was the censor in their pair. Now Mouse has a hard time spotting the real me among a dozen scurrying clones. And I was sitting on a branch of a tree near the gate. Let the clones have fun with the enemy. How's the kid doing? Naruto reached the trees. The kid's a good runner. Now he's hiding in the bushes. I make 5 clones and send them to protect him. The boy is out of sight, of course, but I can sense the Kyuubi's chakra from here. That's why I didn't expect to escape without a fight. We wait. A pug sat down on a branch nearby. He sighed heartbreakingly. Yeah, I get it. They drag you out of your warm bed at night to make you escort a strange couple through the gate. Life is crap. Packen sighed in agreement again. Well, my clones successfully took down Mouse too. The whole crowd, that is. But then 3 new suicide bombers show up. Apparently they were delayed somewhere. Ironing their shoelaces or fixing their makeup. But it doesn't matter. No, I know I could die right here today, but I have a pretty good chance against regular jutsu. And most importantly, I can work on exhaustion now. Their exhaustion. My chakra will last for a very long time. So, all I need to do is make them give it their all. And then I can finish them off. So, 2 of them immediately pounced on my clones, one in a monkey mask, the second pretending to be a tiger, apparently. And the third froze nearby. Hyuga? That means they'll find me now. Time to move. I make more clones to replace the ones dispelled and jump into the fray. These 2 are much more serious. Jonin? Damn, what a stroke of bad luck. Hopping around this rather well-coordinated pair like a flea, constantly switching places with the clones, I had only one goal in mind. Reach the standing Hyuga in the owl mask. Now he's relaxed, I'm making it clear to him that I want to fight his partners and I'm not interested in him. Not at all. Yeah, right. Of course I am. But you, little eye, shouldn't even have any suspicions about this. Continuing to jump chaotically between the clones, I finally chose the moment. That's it. Hyuga turns, but slowly, too slowly. I pierce his stomach with a water kunai. An impressive hole and a 100% death. And what, the water sword technique is wonderful. It uses any aquatic medium. If you stick a kunai in water, it creates a hydrodynamic explosion. How cool is that? After all, a person has so much water. Unfortunately, this principle doesn't work with cuts and superficial wounds. You're screwed, you little bastard, now try jumping without his help. I move back to the branch and sit down next to the pug, who is watching the Uzumaki and BU match with interest. The score is 3-0. I can catch my breath for a couple of minutes. Seizing the right moment, I pelt my opponents with Senbon. One shot fire at me, the other didn't have time to dodge and now lies paralyzed. It was a shame I studied anatomy, and Kushina learned from the Irionen back in her day. It won't last long, and I won't be considered a full-fledged medic. Another fireball. What's going on, you fire-breathing beast? We're not on equal footing, by the way. I can't use my water techniques because, well, there's no water. Another ball. Where did you get so much chakra, you bastard? I barely dodged it. Substitution. Substitution. You've gone behind me, so what, suicide bomber, shall we have a tumble? I'm back into close combat, just taijutsu, not letting the enemy get any distance, not letting them perform hand seals. Yeah, you're stronger, man, but I'm faster. The main thing is to make it before the third command. So that there aren't too many of you masked freaks, for just one of me, so weak. I'm working on arm grabs, short kicks to the knees and shins. Oh, you've really exposed yourself, I'm not fighting by the rules. Here you go, with a pull. That's it, no bells. And the man is no athlete anymore. Okay, I need to finish off these 2, so they keep quiet for a while. I walked over the corpses, sealing them in scrolls and crudely covering my tracks. Phew! I needed a break. I sat down on the ground and relaxed. I needed to rest while I could. We sat like that for about 5 minutes, me on the ground, in the bushes at the edge of Naruto, and a dog perched on a branch, gazing down at me with inhuman longing in its eyes. And silence. Chapter 8. Well, let's sum it up. Firstly, my chakra really does allow me to wear down my enemies. Its enormous capacity will allow me to communicate with the elements directly with a minimum of seals in the future. This is good, but mastering it is a slow process. Secondly, the merging of consciousness matrices gave me more than I thought. I no longer had a psychological barrier to killing someone. No, don't get me wrong, I wasn't particularly philanthropic in my past life either, and if it were a question of killing or dying, believe me, I would have chosen my own carcass without a second thought. But there was a subconscious inhibition against such things unless absolutely necessary. And now it's lifted. Moreover, the corpses of my enemies didn't evoke any particular urges or feelings in me. It was just a work-related issue, nothing more. And thirdly, my body was prepared, of course, but it was neglected. Some ligaments are already aching, my joints are sore, and I still have a strained lower back. I had to boost my chakra while I could and at least slightly alleviate the pain. I also noticed that when dealing with the enemy, I was using the close combat skills of my home world. It turned out that the local shinobi didn't favor close combat. They immediately tried to break distance and resort to ninjutsu. Which made sense, since working with techniques inflicts the greatest damage on the enemy. So even my amateurish grabs and strikes were new to them. What did you expect? A modern woman needs to know how to defend herself. Foul play is everything. As my self-defense coach once said, anything can be a weapon in a fight. From keys to loose change in your pocket. And they taught me to strike my opponent's pressure points automatically and without thinking. The silence was strange. I stood up and listened. No one was around, just the occasional cicada chirping, someone screaming in the distance. Yelling? Naruto, stay put for now, I'll be back soon. I shouted at the boy and rushed back to the gate. Konoha seemed deserted. Danzo was probably behind this. An unfinished mummy. Never mind, I'll meet you on a crooked path. The earth is round. I'll remember you. There was not a soul either at the gate or beyond it, although a serious battle was raging in the square. Kakashi against 3 teams of A and BU. That means they sent 5 groups of security forces after me. However, I am highly valued in my home village. The fight is serious, no wonder the blonde opened his Sharingan. Of the 9 people, only 3 are left standing now, one of them wounded. Kakashi is a monster after all. No wonder he became a jonin at 13. Wow, Chidori in action. I want something like that. I'll have to somehow coax him into training later. After all, lightning is my main element. Yes, this is more powerful than my water kunai. He pierced his chest with his hand. You can see space through the hole and drag a starship. Ooh. I want to. It's time to intervene, 2-on-1 or 2 against 2 completely different scenarios. I jump into the circle, trip him up. No, that won't do. Where are you running off to? I don't need valuable witnesses at all. Shuriken him, shuriken, and hit him on the head, on his thick head. Don't bother Uzumaki. We're nervous and angry. Especially at night. Wow, how nimble, he grabbed me by the wrists. And then he hit you with his forehead in the nose. What, does that make you feel better? Another elbow to the Adam's apple. That's it, he's done for. Water sword. I turned to face another opponent. From where? I blocked the katana. What a nimble one. Dude, did you even put Kakashi down? I was taken aback. How did he do it? Yeah, screw you. Danzo-sama will deal with him. He got away, we're going in circles. Screw you, I'm sick of it. I might have a friend dying there. Shadow clones. Deal with them, idiot. I made a substitution and rushed towards Kakashi, who was lying on his back. Damn, I hope he's alive. Alive! Hooray! Phew! The katana blow glanced off his side, and his palms were hurt too. Was he trying to stop the sword with his hands? Amazing. And he's unconscious, probably because of the Sharingan. Damn, that scared me. Healing the sick blonde wasn't that hard. The clones were still enthusiastically showering the ANBU man with throwing iron, but he was successfully dodging them so far and sometimes managing to disperse them. It's okay, as soon as Kakashi recovers, I'll show that idiot in the mask the shortcut to the next world. Kushina-san, he finally came to his senses. Where's Naruto? Calm down, he's hiding in the forest. I've already buried 2 teams there, the rest, as I understand it, you took on, because you're so smart. What were you thinking, dumbass? I got up and went to the last enemy. He was still successfully chasing my clones. It's even strange. I'll help. Kakashi tried to get up. Down! I barked. It was loud. I think even the pug on the branch behind the gate lay down on command. That's it, dead man, you've got me. Water sword. The jokes were over. I joined the dance. Suddenly, a green blurry silhouette flashed in front of me, and the ANBU man flew into the wall. He flew through the air for about 20 meters, and with acceleration. And he gave the wall a good kiss. Wow, a real passionate kiss. I wonder if he's still alive? In the name of youth. Guy appeared and barked in my ear. And there's the first stage of the rocket that gave the ANBU man the second cosmic velocity. Shut up. What a madhouse. This Konoha is a bunch of madmen. We have to get out. Guy-kun, go finish off that flyer. Pointing the green man in the direction, I headed towards Kakashi, who was already sitting down. Did you have to do this alone? I asked him tiredly. It was already clear that we won. Root lost 5 teams of pursuers. A big blow to Danzo and Hiruzen's self-esteem. I'm not alone. Guy took on 2 more groups. Helping this masked superhero get up. Wait, so they sent 7 teams after me? More than half of the ANBU enforcers? Holy shit. I feel like a superclass criminal. This isn't S rank, it's much higher. Although, from their point of view, I am a criminal. The Jinchuriki stole? Stole! That's more valuable than a nuclear briefcase here. Yeah, a bit much. Why did you drag your friend into this? I watch as Guy methodically walks around the square, finishing off the living and packing the bodies into scrolls. It was his decision. But now I have no doubt in his youthful strength. I burst out laughing. Kakashi supported me. The come-down had begun. I'll tell him. He'll appreciate it. You really put yourself out there, Kakashi-kun. They won't forgive you for this. Not really. The Nara clan assigned us an A-rank mission. So what? A mission to check the quality of the gate security. Guy and I developed and carried it out. Everything was officially formalized with special paperwork and with the permission of the authorities. And we know nothing about 7 ANBU teams disappearing in pursuit of the Jinchuriki. There are no witnesses. Who knows who and where the bloody habanero has slaughtered? What does the Nara have to do with it? You've forgotten, Kushina-san, that the Uchiha and Nara always supported Namikaze Minato. They remember their friendship with the 4th. No one in the village will know anything about that night. You're not alone. Damn it. Now I have a duty to the Nara and the Uchiha. Uchiha. I'll have to give them a hint. Kakashi-kun, tell Fugaka-san that if their clan starts playing politics seriously, it will end its existence ingloriously at the hands of its strongest descendant, who will only spare his own brother. Kushina-san? What was that? Consider it a prediction, an epiphany. I hope it will make them think. And tell them that in repayment of my debt to them, I promise to take care of the last representative of the Uchiha clan. Kakashi blinked in confusion. Oh, whatever. Let them think what they want. It's time for me to go. For now, circumstances are on our side. Since we've cut out half of Root, there's a good chance no one will follow me until the old man returns, which means there's time. There's time to teach Naruto at least partial control, so he doesn't have to hide from every censor he comes across. By hiding the Biju's chakra, we can blend into the crowd. Well, almost blend in. Will you deal with the corpses? Yes, Guy and I will destroy all traces. Really, he begins. Everyone who needs to know will know anyway, I finish. Are you leaving, Kushina-san? Just call me Kushina. I extend my hand to him. He shakes it. And thank you for everything, brother. May luck always smile on you. I pat him on the shoulder and leave. I hope the guys can get away with this. And I still have to look for Naruto in the thicket. I go outside the gate. It's dark, cool, beautiful, in a word. And along the road there are dead people with scythes and silence. That's about me. I pick up the abandoned backpack. I wave goodbye to the poor pug. I collect my scrap metal. After all, high-quality saban and shuriken don't lie around on the road. I left plenty of them in Konoha anyway. Everything is sorted into seals again. Time to look for our boy. Okay, I dispelled the security clones. Aha, there he is. Naruto was found sleeping in the thorniest bushes at the edge of the forest. The clones had a hard time digging him out from there. I didn't go myself. I still feel sorry for myself. Okay, now let's cover our tracks. I created several pairs of clones, taking the form of Kushina and Naruto, and sent them out in different directions. We'll see where the chase goes. I picked up the boy. I sent 2 more clones to lead the vanguard, and a couple more covered us from behind. Excellent. I looked at the gates of the village hidden in the leaves. Well, farewell, Konoha. Grow up, may the earth rest softly upon you. It's in your best interests that we don't see each other for a long time. If I forget your attitude towards my saviors, consider yourself lucky. And if not, then the next time we meet, I will destroy you. Kakashi appeared at the gates and waved goodbye. See you again, brother. I jumped onto the upper tier of branches and raced towards Suna. No one would think we were running to meet the Hokage. So, first Suna, then we'll disappear somewhere in the land of Earth. Few people know anything about it anyway, so we'll pick a quiet village and settle down for a while. Naruto has a lot to learn, and so do I, actually. Controlling 2 elements from scratch is tough. But there are just too many perks, both from Minato's techniques and from wind techniques. Then there are ideas for strengthening one element with the other. But these are all tasks for the future. At the moment, only 2 questions worry me. First, will Kakashi and Guy manage to hide their interference in the nighttime showdown with the ANBU? And second, is Danzo smart enough not to send more men after me now? After all, my surprises are the most surprising in the world. Well, there will be daylight, there will be food. When we face the consequences of today's démarche, then we will find the answers to our questions. In my thoughts, I didn't even notice that dawn had fully dawned. Daylight had come into its own. The birds started chattering, the animals started going about their urgent everyday affairs. And we run. By the way, a modern shinobi can reach quite a speed. I can definitely do 40 kilometers an hour. I need to master summoning some big bird. I want to be driven around and offered drinks during the flight. I'm not stupid. Yes, I am like that. A couple of hours later, the little one started to stir. It's time to find a more decent clearing for rest, breakfast, and entertainment. This one will do. I jumped down. Well, good morning? Hi, Mom. The little one rubbed his eyes. Where is Kakashi-san? You were already asleep when we said goodbye. He stayed in Konoha. He pouted. We didn't say goodbye to him, you see. You'll see each other again, little one. We're not parting forever. Yes? Yes. I took out a scroll with dry rations. So, this is for me, this is for the little one. Let's drink some cold tea from the flask. Come on, eat. Then we'll look for a stream, refresh ourselves, and continue on our way. Thank you. The little one grabbed the sandwiches, and I melancholically chewed an apple, leaning back against the tree trunk. I'm tired. And my body is aching more and more in places. We'll probably stay here for a couple of hours. We need to heal and rest. And the sun is still shining. I closed my eyes. How nice. Chapter 9. I woke up with a jerk, as if someone had pushed me. Damn, I fell asleep. Damn it, this is what it means to push yourself too hard when you're not used to it. My muscles had more or less returned to normal, but my tendons and back were still causing me a fair amount of pain. Groaning like an old woman, I stood up and looked around the clearing. Okay, so, where's the little one? After a couple of minutes of pacing around the campsite, my stupidity dawned on me. I dispelled the clones accompanying us. Okay, the little guy had gotten into trouble. At least they had nothing to do with the escape from Konoha. I created new clones to guard my belongings and headed for Naruto. I found the boy about 100 meters from the campsite, clinging frantically to a thick branch. And he'd managed to climb a fair distance out of fear. Well done, I commend him. A small, club-footed creature was pacing lazily under a tree, occasionally glancing up. Would its lunch fall down on its own, or would I have to climb up to get it? I settled down nearby and decided to watch the situation unfold. The clones who had been watching Naruto while I slept hadn't interfered with the bear's introduction because, firstly, the little one wasn't in any serious danger, and secondly, it was beneficial for its future survival. Man is the pinnacle of creation. Sounds proud, right? Only there was a mistake. Man is simply the most dangerous predator, but every predator has its hunter, or at least a pack of scavengers. It's just that more often than not, it's another man who hunts man. However, it looks like I'll have to take down the little one. He can't figure out how to get out of this situation. The boy is simply scared. It happens. So, we'll have to help. I was about to give Naruto my location when the situation changed dramatically. Damn it, this was all so bad timing. A dark-haired shinobi appeared in a nearby tree. Judging by the forehead protector, it was Mist. What was he doing here? The man looked around carefully, but didn't notice me. So, not a censor. Score 1 in my favor. Kid, whose are you? Naruto, although he noticed the new character, ignored the question. My school. You can't talk to strangers. The man waited a little longer for an answer, but never received one. Kid, I can help you. Take you to your parents. Do you want to go to your mom and dad? Look, he's using bribery. I wonder what the son will do now. And the son only grabbed the branch tighter. Are you mute or something? The man clearly had never dealt with children. Then forgive me, kid, but I'll drag you to the village by force. With your chakra, it's a sin to pick mushrooms in the woods. And this idiot, jumping onto Naruto's branch, tried to tear him away from the tree. The fight was clearly uneven, and the kid would definitely lose, so I had to help. Just a little. A light genjutsu, and the unsuspecting Fogman froze. Now to take Naruto. I appear next to him, yanking the boy onto my back. Hold on! A slight nod, and I'm squeezed with legs and arms. Good boy. Everything is fine, don't be afraid. The kid nodded again and tried to press even closer. He was still shaking, but it was okay, it would pass. Meanwhile, I'd borrowed a hip pouch from the man frozen in a trance. It would come in handy. Jump. One more time. Under the influence of the illusion, the Fogman falls down onto the bear. That's it. I've removed the genjutsu. What follows is an untranslatable pun performed by the shinobi of the fog and the bear. Like a choir of bunny boys. The inevitable outcome of a small skirmish, a slightly bruised bear, fleeing without paying attention to where it was, and an angry, loudly cursing man, jumping from branch to branch and heading north. Now he's convinced the boy pushed him toward the bear and ran away. Excellent. We're heading back to the campsite. It's time for lunch. During lunch, I emptied my trophy bag. I ended up with a few low-quality shurikens and 5 explosive tags. The tags are good. Why? Because now, when setting an ambush at our campsite, I can leave behind deactivated scrolls. Not mine, and not from the leaf. A few details indicate the scrolls were made in the mist. And this is already a trail that leads in a completely different direction. Maybe we've been kidnapped? How awful. So go to the land of waves. Just don't get lost. Have a safe trip. Noticing Naruto, as usual, dozing off after lunch, I began preparing the clearing for the high-ranking guests from my beloved Konoha, so they'd get their hiccups. First, I selected several nearby trees that formed a roughly perfect quadrangle, colloquially known as a square. I placed a barrier seal on each tree. If you don't know what to look for, you won't notice, even with a Sharingan. While the seals aren't activated, they don't emit radiation. So, it will be a one-way barrier. You can enter, but you can't leave. Excellent. The seals activate if someone with sufficient chakra enters the control zone. That means a shinobi. Super. And they won't be able to leave. Now let's start mining. I carefully removed the turf in several places with a kunai, being careful not to damage the grass. I use chakra to burn the seals directly into the ground. Too bad I can't do that without removing the grass. Excellent. I think 3 on each side of the barrier is plenty. I'm a real pyromaniac. If the seals detonate simultaneously, there will be a branch of hell inside the barrier. I'm evil. And let's put these couple of seals from the mist here, let's say they don't go off by accident. Yes. Completely by accident. And it will be hard not to find them. Of course, I understand that all my tricks are too primitive. But this trail will also need a full check. What if the Jinchuriki really was kidnapped by the mist? Let them run around. And we'll go our own way. Time to get ready. I put on my backpack, picked up the little one, and jumped onto the nearest branch. One clone went ahead to reconnoiter, the second will watch the trap until evening, the rest will stand guard. Time to set off. We continue west to Suna. There's still time, and in a day even the dog walkers won't be able to find our real trail. The next time I managed to stop for rest was late at night. No one forced me to run so long, and even the clone who stayed behind at our former campsite, having cleared his head, didn't tell me anything new. I simply wanted to cover as much distance as possible this day. And now it's time to settle in for the night. We lit a fire and dug holes so the glare wouldn't be visible from afar. I heated up the meat, cut the bread, and boiled water for tea. All in all, dinner went well. Naruto, after the day's adventure, was keeping a low profile, suspecting, and rightly so, actually, that he'd screwed up big time in front of me. After all, I told him not to go anywhere. But no, he's gone. Curiosity got the better of me. And so, we're playing the silent treatment. Of course, I'm not mad or offended at all, but the boy needs to understand that such tricks are unacceptable. So let him think I'm angry. From now on, he'll think about the consequences before he acts on his own. We laid out the sleeping bags, and the kid immediately climbed into his and pretended to be asleep. Like, see, Mom, how obedient I am, and all that. Okay. I sat by the fire and thought about our next journey. Let's say we've evaded pursuit for a while. We'll have to be careful, of course. In any case, a healthy paranoia will only save our lives. Which means we need to change our appearance using the means at hand. They're looking for a woman with long red hair and a blonde boy with blue eyes and stripes on his cheeks. So, I'll become a woman with short black hair. Plus, we'll add some kind of tattoo to my face. It'll distract from the verbal description of my appearance. We'll also paint Naruto black and put on a mask like Kakashi's. No, that will cover his stripes, of course, but it will attract attention. We need to hide it in plain sight. Should I cover them up? I'll definitely buy some makeup in a village somewhere. Why didn't I think about those stripes beforehand? Damn it. I won't have to hide his eyes. His iris color isn't that rare. She looked at her son thoughtfully. I think he'll enjoy the masquerade. The kid's already properly asleep. Well, while there's still time, let's put the plan into action. Cutting the hair is elementary. The hard part is getting it straight. The clone had to act as a hairdresser. I threw the cut hair into the fire. Ugh, it smelled like burning right away. Dyeing the hair and eyebrows didn't take much time either. Especially since the hair dye here is better than any L'Oreal. Just apply it, and that's it. No need to even rinse it out. I gathered the rest of my hair into a small ponytail at the back of my head. Okay, the main part is ready. Throwing more wood on the fire, I thought. I've been dreaming of doing this for ages, so why not now? Pulling my backpack closer, I pulled the headband with the leaf forehead protector out of the pocket. Kushina had kept it all this time, and I'd vengefully grabbed it. Why? It's simple. Taking out a kunai, I imbued it with the element of water and slowly, enjoying the process, crossed out the leaf symbol with a long horizontal line. That's it. Finally. One way or another, the village has now officially classified me as a missing nin. Danzo won't miss this opportunity to officially hunt me. Smiling dreamily, I tied the headband around my head. Now I will wear the forehead protector with pride, let everyone see, Before them stands an exile, a missing Nin, a renegade of the leaf. The time has come to remind the world that I am the bloody habanero. Chapter 10. The morning started off badly, with Naruto screaming, apparently burying his head in his sleeping bag out of fear and getting tangled up in it. "Who are you?" The boy, seeing me, squealed like crazy. "Where's mommy?" "I am your mommy, little one." I didn't expect to transform like that, especially since I didn't look in the mirror and didn't make it to the stream. But the kid recognized the voice and stared at me in surprise. "I put on a disguise, and now we'll change you." "I'll turn black too?" "Really?" He moved away quickly. Apparently, he took it as some kind of game. Well, that's not bad either. "Yeah. Good morning, by the way." "Oh. Good morning, Mom. Come here, we're going to change your color. You'll become a silver fox." I giggled, rubbing dye into the child's hair. Right before my eyes, the light straw-colored hair was turning pitch black. Okay, just the eyebrows were left, and that was it. Just 10 miserable minutes, and such a stunning result. Excellent. Yeah, I thought, there's no way anyone would recognize us now except by chakra. I need to teach the boy some basic control techniques. We'll do that today, too. Well, how is it? Naruto was completely exhausted. He was incredibly curious to know what he looked like now. Let's go to the stream. We'll see. I grab his hand and lead him to a small pond formed by a natural dam on the stream. The water wall technique served as a nice substitute for a mirror. Well, what can I say? The burning brunette in a black outfit didn't really repulse me. I even liked the new hair color. A bit gloomy, but just right. The family is ready, right? Naruto was also spinning in front of his reflection. The boy was having fun, and that was good enough. The main thing is that he doesn't have a fit. But I have one more thing to do here. I take the seal drawing kit out of my bag. Okay, let's mix the ink with a little blood and draw a seal on my face. A thin black ligature of hieroglyphs stretches vertically from my hairline to the corner of my lip, through my right eye. The largest symbol is on the eyelid. I infuse it with chakra. A momentary jolt of pain, and voila! Everything is done. Now I have a tattoo, which, due to the asymmetrical placement, has slightly altered my facial features, plus it protects me from illusionary techniques. An alternative to Tai. I only need to close my left eye to dispel the genjutsu. It's unclear why Kushina didn't use this seal before, even though she knew about it. Was she relying on her genjutsu techniques? In vain. I think it's better to be safe than sorry. The seal might be completely invisible, but I don't want to remove it yet. It's part of my disguise. It's a shame you can't give the little one like that. The seal is tied to working with techniques, and accordingly you need to know them. Oh well, we'll sort this out in time. We returned to the campsite in good spirits, grabbed a sandwich, poured some tea, and started breakfast. Okay. Let's celebrate this day as the beginning of a long journey. Off we go. Damn, how simple everything usually is in anime. 20 minutes of watching, and the heroes are already in another country. Damn, I've been making my way to the land of wind with the little one for 3 weeks now, and I still can't get out of these damned forests. Provisions weren't a problem. We regularly stopped at the small villages we came across along the way. Yeah, we did give concerts, and they were a great success. Every day now followed the same schedule: wake up, breakfast, meditation and chakra control, exercise, stretching, a 3 to 4 hour hike, lunch combined with rest, another hike, setting up camp, meditation, dinner, and sleep. The kid, by the way, took his training seriously. To say he tried hard would be an understatement. He persistently and focused on circulating his chakra through his body and doing the physical exercises I showed him. All in all, a serious guy. And when I taught him to move a leaf across his palm with his chakra, he was simply delighted. A couple of days later, he finally managed to maintain control of the leaf for an hour. After the test, I promised the beaming little one I'd teach him to walk on trees and water. And I nearly went deaf from the joyful squeals. And finally, the forest began to thin out and soon faded away, and then the steppe began, interspersed with sparse groves. I decided we should take a short break before crossing the desert, especially since we came across a quiet, small village along the way. Just what we needed. I created a clone in the form of a middle-aged shinobi man with a shock of black hair and a forehead protector with a crossed-out miss symbol. I also cast Henja Naruto to make him look older, 10 years older. Like we're family. We entered the village itself in the evening. People in such secluded villages are wild, so I wasn't surprised by the curious glances and whispers of the natives. In a small square in the middle of the village, we were met by a disorganized gathering led by a tall, pot-bellied man. Some local bigwig, the village elder, probably. "Who are you and why have you come?" this character began. "No hello, no please. They're not cultured people here." On the other hand, they immediately spotted our headbands with the crossed-out forehead protectors. Who knows what a renegade shinobi might come up with? "Good evening." I finally decided not to ruin our relationship with them and not to punch him right away. "My family and I are looking for shelter for a week. We need to rest before crossing the desert. Does anyone in the village want to rent us a house for a week or two?" "Ah, so you are travelers? Then fine. How much will you give?" Self-interest outweighs everything, including fear. As soon as the conversation turned to money, all his unapproachability and aggression towards newcomers disappeared with a wave of his hand. "Money is evil. It's good that we have it. Set the price yourself, master, and then we'll come to an agreement, I hope." "I'm more than sure we will. A man will sell your mother for a kopeck, and for 2 he will also kill her." Anyway, the village headman Fudo-san and I quickly came to an agreement. We were given a rather run-down house on the outskirts. Well, the roof doesn't leak, the walls are there, the rest is crap. We also agreed on groceries. They'll bring them to me once a day. But everything is homemade, natural. What am I bringing? There are no genetically modified wonders of the food industry in this world. Comrade Fudo-san, of course, set a high price. Apparently, profiting off travelers is the scourge of all worlds. I managed to knock a third of the price down, but it was still a hefty sum. Well, screw it. At least we can rest. Naruto, and I too, were pretty exhausted from these joyful weeks of constant movement. Now we need to clear all the trash and dust from the house, and then we can move on. With cheerful jokes, dousing each other with water, throwing dust, and mock wrestling, Naruto and I helped. Damn, who am I kidding? We got underfoot as the clones cleaned the house. But even these antics didn't stop us from making the house more or less habitable by nightfall. Our sleeping bags made an excellent substitute for the missing beds. So, should we be sad? I cooked dinner on a crumbling but miraculously still functioning stove, the same age as my grandmother's. Everything went well though, and after feeding the little one some porridge, I sent him off to bed. I couldn't sleep. I was too melancholy. I left the house and jumped onto the roof. I lay down on the still warm tiles, gazing up at the sky. I hadn't looked at the sky in a long time. It's different here. Brighter. There are more stars, and they're closer. It looks like the planet is located not far from the center of the galaxy. And the moon is like ours, only larger, and a cooler, silvery color. A fine night. A warm, dry wind brought echoes of the heat from the nearby desert. I decided that we wouldn't go into Suna itself after all. Better, having brushed the edge of the desert, walk along its border to the land of Earth. There I could find a small village like this one and settle down there for 2 or 3 years. Naruto will grow up, learn some skills, and I'll hone my skills too. And then we'll see what my future plans are. Oddly enough, I haven't thought that far ahead yet. Teaching the little one and my own development are my top priorities right now. My mood has really soured. It's because my thoughts are now drifting to an unpleasant but necessary task that I've been putting off for long enough. It's time to get to know Kyubi again. Well, and introduce the little one too, of course. Am I afraid? Of course I am. I'm not stupid. But it has to be done, so the little one will gain access to the tailed beast's power faster. And if we can talk the fox into joining our side, it will be a big, fat plus for us. There's no such thing as too many chances for survival. Let's see what the redhead says. Let's give it a try, and then we'll see. With these thoughts, I fell asleep on the roof. The morning was sunny and loud. The little one woke me up with a squeal and hung on my neck. Well, he found me. He's studying. Picking the boy up in my arms, I jumped down. I need to make breakfast. I've already overslept. At the threshold I came face to face with Fudo-san's wife, Aniko. A thin, gray mouse with indeterminately dark hair, exhausted by life and her husband. She thrust a package of groceries and a jug of milk into my hands and was gone. No hello, no goodbye. These are some wild people, after all. After watching the woman leave with a surprised look, Naruto and I exchanged glances and shrugged in unison. Okay, kid. Let's go have breakfast. After all, we're only here for a short time and I doubt we'll remember this village and these people again. What's there to be offended about? What's for breakfast? Naruto was already sitting at the table in the kitchen. What would you like? It's not difficult for me, and the boy will be pleased. By the way, have you washed up? I washed up. While you were sleeping on the roof. And I want something sweet for breakfast. Really? I ruffled the boy's hair. Well, then wait 10 minutes. Everything will be ready in a minute. Indeed, making pancakes is a simple and quick process. If only you had flour, eggs, milk, and sugar. And they just brought me everything fresh. 1, 2, 3, and the Irish stew is ready. I pour the little one some tea and give him some jam I found among the ingredients. I don't know what it's made of, but it tastes sweet, so it'll do. I immediately transfer the finished pancakes to Naruto's plate. Eat carefully, they're still hot. Here, there's some jam, can you dip them in it, or should I give you some sour cream? I pour the batter into the frying pan. The smell is overwhelming. I watch as the little one greedily devours the pancakes, dipping them in the jam and washing them down with tea. Damn, I want some too. But that's a mother's lot. First you have to feed the baby, and then you can eat yourself. Nothing. Yum yum. I won't burn myself. Yum. I don't want sour cream. Yum yum. Naruto replies with his mouth full. I put another helping on him. The little one practically closes his eyes in anticipation. And so our breakfast goes. Only after the third helping does the little one roll away from the table with the look of a gorged mosquito. It seems like he should fly, but his belly is scraping the ground. Now I can eat too. Mom, can we save some for dinner? Look, I liked it. I narrow my eyes slyly. Of course, only instead of jam there will be sour cream. Agreed, my son sighs. Come on, go outside and practice your chakra control. I send the little one out so that I can eat at my own pace. I create clones, let them clean up and make lunch. Today I myself may be too busy for this. Or not in the right state. Half an hour later, I leave the house to find the little one sleeping in the shade. Naruto's battle with the pancakes had ended in favor of the latter. I sit down next to him, placing the little one on my lap. There's no point in delaying it any longer. I'm only winding myself up more and more. Naruto! Wake up. Mom? Sleepy eyes focused on me. Realizing the situation, the little one jumped up. I'm not sleeping, Mom, I'm meditating. Of course. I figured that. I couldn't help but tease him. The little one immediately assumed a guilty look. Well, I didn't even notice how I fell asleep. Scratch your foot again, you're a real angel. Everything is clear with you. The tummy stretched out, and the eyes closed. Don't worry, I'm not scolding you. Really? True. Come here, we need to talk. I sat him on my lap and, wrapping my arms around him, began the story. Naruto, listen carefully. 5 years ago, a 9-tailed demon fox attacked Konoha. The short one listened with bated breath. I told him everything, that he was the son of the 4th Hokage, and about the human Jinchuriki, and that I myself was a Jinchuriki before him. I told him why we were treated so badly in the village, and about the man who unleashed the fox on Konoha. It turned out to be a long story. And a sad one. So that's it, Naruto. Now you know everything. Mom, isn't the fox hurt inside? I was taken aback by such a question. The short one felt sorry for the demon. Maybe my plan to establish friendly relations between these two really will come to fruition. That would be nice. Well, we'll never know until we try, after all. I think he's not feeling well, Naruto, but we can't let him out either. He's quite vicious. But you could try to negotiate, or even befriend him. Really? How? He practically jumped on my lap with impatience. We'll get to it now. I'll push you into your inner world, your subconscious. Don't be afraid of anything, I'll be there with you. Okay? I looked into his eyes. But no, there was no fear or doubt there. Only curiosity. I created a few more clones for our protection. Let them keep watch in the courtyard while we're defenseless. We can begin. I'm not afraid. Right. Just don't forget about it. Sit in front of me and look me in the eyes. As soon as the little one sat up and looked up at me, I cast a special genjutsu. A difficult-to-maintain technique that allowed one to penetrate another person's subconscious. However, there were some consequences. A terrible headache for the user. Good thing it wasn't Naruto. Only the shock of meeting the Kyuubi. So, here we go. Chapter 11. A dim, stone, damp tunnel. The chipped stonework of the walls glowed faintly. Gloomy, dark, and scary. Everything was as expected. Naruto looked around, standing almost knee-deep in water. But he didn't seem to be afraid. Good. Mom? I'm here. The boy turned around and, coming closer, took my hand. Good boy, you weren't scared. Where are we? It's unpleasant here. This is what your inner world looks like. I ran my palm over the damp stone. But I think you'll change everything with time. That's good. Otherwise, it's very gloomy here. He sighed. Yes, I agree with him completely. Demolish everything and build anew. Where are we going, Mom? I don't think it makes much difference, so that's where we go. Should we go, or something? In this strange place, Naruto and I changed in appearance, returning to our previous appearance, without disguise. Apparently, how you feel is how you look. We didn't wander around the dungeon for long, then around the next turn it became lighter, and we came out into a huge, illuminated hall. The wall farthest from us was a huge cage in which darkness swirled. The boy looked at the sights in surprise, but fearlessly, and I purposefully led us to the bars. Up close, the bars were simply gigantic. On one of them hung a seal. Later I'll figure out what the fourth screwed up there. It seems to be very different from mine. Well, we've arrived. The fox was in no hurry to show himself and shout. It's even strange. And where's the little fox? Naruto at his best, I covered my eyes with my hand. The demon fox, there, behind the bars. Maybe she's sleeping, or maybe she doesn't want to meet her. What am I saying? And she's not afraid of us? That's a shame. Right in front of us, in the thick darkness, a huge red eye opened. You know, it's really scary. Am I afraid of little people? The roar echoed throughout the dungeon. Oh, my ears. How loud. Naruto even crouched in surprise. You've come early, Vessel. Sorry, Kyuubi, but we have business with you, I began, having more or less gotten used to the power of the voice. Who have you brought, Naruto? Now 2 huge eyes were staring at us. You. It's you. Kushina. My former jail guard. I'll tear you apart. I'll devour you. A powerful wave of ki almost pinned the little one and me to the floor. The quintessence of hatred, that's what this power is. I confess, my knees were shaking violently, and my hands too. It was almost impossible to resist this power. Almost. I couldn't just leave here. I need this little beast's help. And I'll get it, one way or another. I straightened up, hugging the little one to myself, trying to convey at least a little of my confidence to him. Well, So what? I told you, we have business with you. Impudence is the second happiness. As long as I live, I've always been convinced of this. After all, my impudent answer threw Kyuubi off track. The key disappeared as suddenly as it had appeared. The darkness in the cage dissipated slightly, and now Naruto and I could see the huge muzzle of the red-haired beast. Compared to the demon, I feel like a flea. You're not Kushina. You're not her. The shell is the same, but the essence is different. He started yelling again. Good thing Naruto most likely won't understand what I'm talking about. The boy pressed himself against my legs, hiding his face, but still kept an interested glance at the tailed one. Apparently, he had already recovered from fear. Good. So what if the collar is unfinished? I have become different, that is true. But that is not important. So, are you interested in our offer? Why resist if you have been exposed? The fox sees souls? It is very possible. What do I even know about demons? You have come for power for your son? Kyuubi's eyes closed. Laziness, apparently, took over. He did not even react to the collar. Yes, but I have something to offer you in exchange. Come on, you should be curious. You are a fox, after all. Will you let me go? His right eye opened slightly with interest. Nope. You are not yet sufficiently sane and manageable for me to take such a step. Found a fool, red-haired one. No, my friend, until you become friends with my son, you will not get freedom. So look after? Look at that smart little animal. You got the point right away. Exactly. Now I'm going to offer you an exchange. You give my son access to your chakra, and in exchange, I'll give you access to his feelings. Of course, you won't be able to control Naruto, but you will see and hear what he sees and hears. I can even give you access to his sense of smell and taste. Rolled through the room. Tempting, my former jail guard. I'm really bored. So, how about it? Shake on it? Or rather, give it to me? Damn. Well, you get the idea. The fox pretended to be thoughtful. Yeah, stop acting like a young lady. You're going crazy with boredom and anger here. And so, you're given an excellent chance to have some fun. And with time, even more than that, you and I have some common goals. Let me give you a hint. Konoha. I bared my teeth. Yes, I haven't forgotten about you, comrades. You want to destroy Konoha? You. The demon seemed to be stunned by my desires. Yeah. I don't think you know, but they treated us very badly there after that night when you broke free. It's not my guilty. I know, you were subjugated by the man in the mask. I remember. He caused me a lot of problems too. And he almost killed Naruto. I have no complaints against you. That's it. So you want to take revenge on the people of Konoha? Kill them for hatred of you and your son? No. Killing everyone is stupid. I want to destroy specific people, those responsible for the death of my husband, those responsible for the fact that Kushina. Oh, I'll tell you later. I stopped myself. Naruto shouldn't know about this yet. The fox chuckled slightly, seeming to understand what was going on. And I want to destroy Konoha as a lesson. Don't pull a dragon's tail. You're interesting. Imagine, I decided that I had nothing left to lose, and I carried on, you and I come to the gates of Konoha. Of course, an army is gathering to stop such a dangerous you and such a sweet me. Here we stand opposite each other, and they are afraid. So afraid that even I, not a demon, can feel it. I want to see the horror in their faces. I want the guilty to tremble with the understanding that retribution has come, and it cannot be avoided. Neither money nor power will help them. The fox listened to me with interest, as did the little one. I'll have to cheer them up a little, otherwise the prospect I painted for the boy is too gloomy. And so, I step forward and say, So, what are you standing there for? I'm only interested in two things. First, the extradition of state criminals, the list is attached. Second, the razing of this urban-type settlement to the ground. If both requests are granted, we will not kill anyone else. If you idiots value the idiots on the list so much that you want to die for them, then I apologize, guys, but everyone who is against us will go on a long and tedious journey to the next world. You, who suddenly went gray, Don't try to discreetly make seals, we might get offended. Right, Kyubi? And wake up that one over there who keeps fainting. H. The fox's laughter darted around the hall, reflected off the walls. I agree. So, you will help in this matter and do as I ask? Yes. I agree to help Scary and destroy. But I also have a condition. What is it? I wonder what the demon might want. You will help me take revenge on the masked man. I can't handle it alone, he can subdue me. He has the Sharingan. Deal, Fox? One way or another, Toby will confront Naruto and me. So the tailed beast condition will have to be fulfilled by force. What about my first offer? Yes, I agree. I promise to voluntarily give access to my power to Naruto in exchange for access to his sight, smell, hearing, and taste. Kyubi nodded importantly. Good luck. Then I will now study the seal and change it. Oh, and one more thing, I grinned at the demon, I will give myself mental access to the seal. In case I urgently need to talk to you. Okay, I'm off to sort this out. Naruto, do you want to talk to Kyubi? The boy, already completely forgetting his fear, was staring at the fox's huge face. He'll be ready to touch it now. Kyubi-san, are you bored here? What do you think, Naruto? Sit in the dark, in water, in a cage forever? But the demon made contact. Hooray! I couldn't do it, the little one sighed. Can I touch you? Ahem, the red-haired one choked. And I giggled quietly. Naruto is Naruto. I told you he'd start groping me. Are you afraid of me, Naruto? I'm afraid, the boy answered honestly. And hesitating, he quietly added, but I still want to touch. The fox thought about it. I would also be stunned with surprise if an ant proved Fermat's theorem in front of me. I wonder what will happen next. The boy even stopped breathing. He really wants this big furry toy. And he doesn't care that it's vicious and bites. You can touch it. He finally allowed it. I watched Naruto carefully stroke the Kyubi's nose, afraid to hurt it. Hurt. The demon. Yes, little one, you are simply an amazing creature. The fox watches the little one closely, but shows no aggression. Okay, the process has begun. There's contact. Everything worked out even better than I could have imagined. A weight off my shoulders. Now I can get to work on researching and modifying the seal. And the seal was simply a masterpiece. The fourth has greatly altered the classic Jinchuriki seal that the Uzumaki used. It limits the fox's freedom even in a cage, and allows him to control the flow of chakra. Yes, that's powerful. And it's good that none of this will interfere with my work. So, what do I want to do? I need to add a bipolar block, on one hand, the little one's access to the Kyubi's chakra, on the other, the fox's access to Naruto's feelings. I bite my finger and begin to create with blood. Okay, let's also add a mental block for me here. And we'll remove this one. Or, no, I won't remove it, let Kyubi be able to speak to the little one mentally. Maybe he'll learn something good. Or teach him. Ha! He'll teach him. But I'll still leave it. I can always remove this. Okay, now let's close the circle and connect it to the base. Suddenly, I felt the presence of another consciousness nearby, besides Kyubi and Naruto. Who? I turned around. Well, of course, my manipulations with the seal didn't miss you. Hello, Minato. Long time no see.